Well, hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. Yes, it has been a little while. I am glad to be back. There. Looks like we are all set there. All right. I see Delvin. Hello. Ethan. Hello. Raymond. Hello. Thank you all for joining. I wasn't sure. It's too quiet now. Yes, Raymond. But I wasn't sure if anybody would get the notification because I know YouTube's a little wonky if you haven't posted in a while with notifications, but I'm glad to see all three of you are here. So thank you. Also, thank you for being loyal viewers and joining in when I post this. So how's everybody been? It is relatively quiet. Yes, even in Dixie Alley, however, there is a storm potential. We're going to talk about that as well, but there is marginal risk going through the center of the country tomorrow. So we'll bring that up. But just how's everybody been? Quiet winter, now into spring in Boston. Yes, it has been fairly quiet here in the Northeast. Like, we just had our first thunderstorm not too long ago. I was actually just going to ask you, Delvin. Sunsets are creeping towards 7:30 now. It's getting to that time of the year I like when sunset is like 8 o'clock. So we're approaching that. I know, sitting on the front lawn at like 8 at night, just seeing the orange turns to the pink and then that deep blue of the night sky. Yes, I know I missed that. I am back now. It's funny, I'm back now, but I won't be back next week because next week I'm going to Disney World again. Yep. It's more wonderful time of the year. 3 months of the longest days, May 7th through August 5th. Yep. My mic sounds like white noise. Hang on, let me see. Um, Interesting. Hang on. Try one thing real quick here. Okay, that is back. I just tried a restart of the audio interface. How does that sound now? There's only one cable, and it is properly seated on both ends here. I did just restart the audio interface. Let me know how that sounds. Hang on, let me try one thing. I just want to see if I can hear. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. From this end, it sounds like it's fine. Interesting. Unless the restart of the audio interface seemed to work, but it sounds, at least from my end, when I'm monitoring everything, it sounds fine. Let me go back to the audio levels. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, I see what's happening. Hold on 1 second. At least I think that's what it is. Nope, that is not what it is. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. I think that sounds a little better. At least from this end, it sounds okay. Does it sound any better? Before we continue on? Let me see. Okay, cool. I'm glad it sounds better. I didn't change anything. The only thing I did was I restarted my audio interface, which is basically a little box that the microphone plugs into, converts the raw audio signal of the microphone because I can't plug the microphone straight into the computer. It converts that analog signal to digital, and then it's a USB out of that box into the computer. So if it's better, I am glad because the audio levels look pretty good here. The limiter's working, the threshold's working. Also, I have a limiter set up software-wise. So when it gets quiet enough below my voice level, it actually mutes the microphone automatically. And then when it detects me talking, it unmutes. So it's like I have a control room and like an audio team that's muting and unmuting very quickly. So as I'm talking right now, it picks it up. But then when I stop talking, all of that other noise wasn't picked up, like my hand clapping and rubbing, because my voice wasn't I wasn't talking, so the audio level of my voice wasn't breaking the threshold. Cool. So that looks good. All right. So not too long tonight because I did start late, but tonight, as you might have saw, very simple, going back to roots. Some Bud Light for the evening. And then with dinner, I had my world famous, I can claim, Grand Jack and Coke. So with that, cheers, everybody. One more person or one more group I want to send this to. Before we get started here. I'm also keeping an eye on my camera battery because it was not 100% when I started. All right, cool. That was good. Yeah, and Raymond, that's why we always have our famous midstream plug of the NOAA weather radios. Because if you're relying on just a tornado siren, then maybe you should rethink your strategy for severe weather there. But tornado sirens, I think, shouldn't go away. They are very necessary, but it's a layered approach. So you have the NOAA weather radio as one step above the tornado siren, and then you have your phone apps and notifications as another. So their primary would, I forgot exactly what this was, but it was like a military style emergency communication system. You have your primary, your secondary, and backup. So primary would be the phone, your smartphone, whatever it is. You'll get notifications of severe weather outbreaks with that. If the cell phone networks go down or your phone's dead, then you have NOAA weather radio. So that doesn't rely on the cell phone network. That relies on just the weather offices broadcasting. And you just got to make sure your NOAA weather radio is plugged in or charged. But if you lose power or it's dead, then the backup to the secondary is the tornado siren. Okay, so let's get started here. I'm going to switch on over. So we're going to actually have a small, what I always wanted to bring in. Jose, this is the way, Jose. Thank you for joining. So you're actually just in time. We're just getting started right now. So we're going to start with a little news segment, a little weather news segment. So let me transition on over here. Okay. So first up here, this is really interesting. As I was kind of scanning weather news for the day, fisherman captures dramatic video of twin waterspouts spinning off Australian island chain. So I am going to play it. There's really not much audio inside of this, but I'm just going to show you. It's actually really cool. So this guy on the water, he sees right here and right there twin waterspouts. It is amazing to see that. And also very brave of him. Normally, when you see waterspouts, you should turn the boat around and head the other way. But he was very brave, and he actually headed toward these waterspouts. And there's some really cool photos just about to come up here. I think it's right about here that the photos come up. And as he gets closer and closer and closer, he captures that. So look at that waterspout there. Oh, and by the way, just for giving credit, this news story is from Fox Weather. Those twin waterspouts, it's really interesting how, yeah, it's a little choppy, the water, but relatively speaking, with a waterspout, it's fairly calm, the water there. So really cool. Neat news story I found from Fox Weather, and courtesy Murray's story via Storyful. So really neat to see there. And then the second little news story of the day, going all the way to the top, rare hybrid solar eclipse to dazzle the sky watchers on Thursday. So that's going to be this upcoming Thursday. So where you can see this, if you are in the U.S., that's going to be number one. Will only be viewable in the farther Indonesian Ocean, part of Australia. You'll see it basically from the west coast. It's not the entire country, unfortunately. According to NASA, a solar eclipse occurs when the moon phases between Earth and the sun, casting a shadow that partially or fully block the sunlight. So solar eclipse and lunar eclipses are all really cool. And then you will be seeing, there's different types of solar eclipses and lunar eclipses out there, aside from the ads. The event in 2024, so there's going to be another one coming up next year. I might be taking off of work for this next particular one. I want to see a solar eclipse, and I did see a partial solar eclipse. I think it was 2017 or 2018 while I was working. I actually had, and that's when also I was on the news station. And I talked about this on the news. I had my dad's welding mask because the welding mask is actually enough to dim and protect your eyes from the bright sun. 2017, August 21st. Yes, that's the one I saw that was partial solar eclipse. So I had the welding mask on and I was able to look up at the sun and see part of it being blocked out. And without using the welding mask and just kind of like going through the day, it was kind of weird. It didn't really darken where I was. It dimmed, and it was a very weird dimming because there was no shadows because it was near midday, but it was dim enough to be like evening. So it was like evening light level without any long shadows that you would normally see with the evening. So it was a very weird, surreal kind of moment. And Jose, yes, that is the way as well. So a couple of neat news stories I found. This is a really cool photo here. Yeah, so it was right in the afternoon. Yeah, that was about, so 2:49, it was around 2:49, I think. So early mid-afternoon, you would expect to have very little shadow at that point, especially for, excuse me, August. But it was dim enough to be like 6, 7 o'clock at night. So evening level light with no shadow or little shadow instead of the long shadows. It was very weird. So I was just skimming through some news stories. This is kind of neat. So there's going to be a solar eclipse coming up this week. And from last week, or just a few days ago, April 12th, this was those twin water spouts. And now, just a quick thing about water spouts and tornadoes. They are the same thing. The only difference between a tornado and a water spout is a tornado's over land, a water spout is over water. So if a water spout, like this picture here, if the water spout moved to the land, it would become a tornado. Even if it's just on the coast, just on the sandy beach, tornado. Moves back to the water, water spout. So it can go back and forth between tornado, water spout, tornado, water spout. So kind of neat stories there. All right. Now, let's start talking about the weather forecast. So from the National Weather Service here, the weather story, what to expect for Wednesday, April 19th. Not too much. As we were briefly mentioning as the stream just began, highs will be hovering around the upper 50s, low 60s. So about average. New York City Almanac. So it's good that they brought this up here from the National Weather Service. Average high, 63 degrees. And if we're in the upper 50s to low 60s, we're going to be right around average. And this is a map here they have. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. There we go. So 59, 58, 59 up in Orange County, going down to Tarrytown, Yonkers, 58, 62. New York City, 64. So right about average. But tomorrow is going to be a very seasonable day. Even going to Connecticut, Hartford, 58. Waterbury, 58. New Milford, 58. Danbury, 58. Then starting to go along the Connecticut coast. Stamford, 61. Bridgeport, 60. New Haven, 60. Clinton, 60. New London, 60. Now going into Long Island there. Montauk, which is also a little bit cooler than the rest, 59. Southold, 59. Hamptons Bay, 58. Shirley, 61. Stony Brook, 62. Bayshore, 62. Then once you get a little bit more around New York City, that's where the temperatures are going to be climbing a little bit. So JFK, 65. New York City, 64. Newark, 64. Morristown, 62. Patterson, 64. Edison, 64. So we have that spread from the upper 50s to the low 60s. So it's going to be fairly pleasant tomorrow. Partly sunny to mostly sunny skies. And a little bit of wind. Not much wind here. So west winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Gusts up to 20. So you might feel a little push of the wind here and there. But that's really about it. The only thing is because it's west, we're seeing these temperatures from the west a little bit cooler. So that might it might feel like a cooler breeze. So if you're caught in a breeze, it might feel cooler for that moment. But then when the gust dies down, it might feel like it's warming up. And that's all just a perception. Because the wind doesn't actually affect the feel temperature from your skin. That's really just more a bubble of warm air around, like that inch around your skin. Interesting, Raymond, there. Okay, and also to Delvin's point about sunset, so New York City Almanac, sunrise 6:12 a.m., sunset 7:38 p.m. So we're getting near that 8 o'clock time frame for sunsets. All right, Storm Prediction Center here. So this is what I was mentioning at the very beginning of the stream. There is a marginal risk going into the day 1 convective outlook. Going into day 2, it goes up to a slight risk. So center of the country might see some little bit of stormy action. Let's see, tornado. So they are putting, and this doesn't sound like a lot, a 5% tornado probability, but it could be. So my guess is with a 5% probability of tornado, I would probably say there's a pretty high chance of at least what's called a wall cloud forming, which is like pre-tornado. It may not drop a tornado, but I say there's a pretty good chance of that. If there is a tornado, again, around that 5% chance. 5% is low in Tornado Alley. Yes, I know it's low in Tornado Alley, and it's all relative. So if we had a 5% tornado risk in New York, that's high for the area, but 5% in Tornado Alley is low. So I kind of like to put a balance in the middle because we do have the legend there that goes up to 60 is the highest, and then it just goes to significant or sig. But right there in that bullseye, that's where I'm saying there's probably not going to be a high chance of tornado. Again, 5%. But I think there's going to be a wall cloud formation there. All right, just a quick peek. Tropics, nothing happening. Now let's take a look at the radar there. So a lot of the radar action here is a little bit more upstate New York, where actually, Raymond, maybe near you, there's some showers nearby. I think you said you're somewhere in this area here. We never see 60% tornado. The highest I've seen was 45. Yes, same thing. It's interesting the legend goes up to 60%, and I've never seen that either. But just to say, like, even though it's a percent, normally percent means out of 100, the scale only goes up to 60. So it doesn't go all the way up to 100. So it really should be out of 60. So a 45% chance is not 45 out of 100. It's really 45 out of 60, with some quick math there. 45 out of 60 is really a 75% chance. along the Albany County line. Okay. So yeah, anywhere around Albany County there, up near Saratoga County. So it looks like through this area there's some spotty showers happening right now. Wow, I just heard a loud gust of wind that sounded very creepy going through the windows. And then going towards the New York City area, which is where I'm from, there's really nothing happening right now. Switching over to some satellite. So the first thing I wanted to bring up here was water vapor imagery. So with the water vapor imagery here, a couple of things I wanted to point out. First, reds and the oranges. Fairly dry weather throughout most of the East Coast here. And then we have this little pocket of some moist air. That's kind of where we're seeing some shower action heading a little bit more upstate New York. And then it's kind of just right at northern New Jersey, going into Long Island, Connecticut area there. That's where the edge of this more moist area is. The other thing I wanted to point out was, look at this. Right there, we see this moisture pocket just explode. That's where I wanted to bring up radar scope here. So again, let's take a look here. We got Oklahoma. We're going to go 2 states north, kind of right about there. Do the same thing here. Oklahoma, 2 states north, right about there. So in this area, right there, which there is a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, that's where this like explosion of moisture is coming from. So let's bring up the radar right there. Ooh, that's cool. That's right there for us. Yep, severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing there. So let's see. Expires in 18 minutes. Expires in 3 minutes. And expires in 3 minutes. So these ones are behind the storm. But if we look at the radar returns here, it's actually pretty intense going into the pinks. So we're getting 60 plus dBz, which is fairly intense. And let me just switch over to the precipitation depiction. Oops, sorry, that was the wrong one. No, that was the right one. Where are the pinks there? So that's heavy rain. No. Where's hail? There could be mountain snow, yes. Let's go back to that. It was the forecast models were bringing that up. So I'm on the proper precipitation depiction. And let's go to Albany. Albany. There we go. So here's some mixing happening. So yes, showers. Looks like some pockets of heavy rain or not heavy rain, but steady rain and then steady snow. And that is pretty much elevation driven. So this is not for anybody near New York City, anybody in this area. This snow will not be coming down to our area. My prediction is we are not going to be seeing any more snow in this area until winter 2023. Heading back out to the center of the country here. Yeah, there's severe thunderstorms there. Quite intense. And then let's head up to here. There's no severe weather here, but there's quite a line there. Yeah, probably done, but there's once you get up that area there, especially right now, there's still a little chance of maybe a snowflake. Let's see what this is. Come on, bring it up. I think I have to be out of the radar view. There we go. That is the... Oh, no, I don't want the mesoscale discussion. Special weather statement. Expires in 0 minutes. That means it's literally about to expire. Strong winds will impact northwestern Meade, northern Custer, southeastern Pennington counties around 8 p.m. And again, mountain time. Mountain daylight saving time. No hail. Max wind gust 55 miles per hour. And that was probably there. And that was the system that came through. So those were the two things I wanted to take a quick peek at on the radar. Let's head back to the New York City area. Missing my mouse clicks for some reason. And here, we're really not seeing anything. So that's the water vapor imagery that was here. I just want to switch to the nighttime microphysics. So we are seeing the clouds build up there. But here, we see some clouds happening around the area. But it's really patchy once you head up more north into New York. And kind of just like with the water vapor imagery, we have almost no clouds for most of the East Coast there. It's just a little bit in the Northeast. Well, not really a little bit, but just the Northeast. And then when we take a look at the surface map here, here's the high. And that high is kind of what's keeping, and again, this was not right now. This was 21Z. So, 4 hours ago. That high maybe moved a little bit more south, so that's allowing some counterclockwise rotation around that low right there. Not a strong low, 999 millibar it's showing. But that's what's giving the clouds. And then highs all along the East Coast. A stationary front, so that's really nothing happening. Very funny. And, Raymond, yes. Yeah. But it makes it fun, right? Wait, what were you talking about the high risk on for heavy snow? Which of the maps? Because I was going to head to the forecast models now, which do show right there that darker blue. Still can't believe I'm talking about snow right now. That darker blue, that's showing some decent snow. Weather Prediction Center. You're talking about the these, right? Yeah, so that is where I'm bringing this up here. So let's head through now on the good old tropical tidbits. The forecast model here. It's not long lasting. However, this is showing some decent moderate snow, I guess you could say. Let's head back to Albany and Binghamton's kind of bounce back and forth. Yeah, there's some streaks of moderate snow coming down right now. That does kind of line up. But it's not going to be lasting, and I'm not even going to bother showing a snow map with that. So that's really it. Once we get into... So there is still a snow shower chance through the morning tomorrow. And that really makes its way more north. Northern New York going into Canada there. And then that's the only snow chance, at least for this week. So let's just browse through the week's forecast there. And once we get past that, so we're going into Wednesday evening. Top of the page on the W Weather Prediction Center. Winter storm severity into... Oh, I see what you're talking. Heavy snow greater than 4 inches. High. Yes. That's April 19th. So here. I didn't really talk about this just because it was a bit more outside our area. But yes, there is still a high risk for heavy snow along the northern border of the U.S. there. That's the 19th going to the 20th, still kind of in that same area. And the 21st, still high. So they could get quite a bit of snow. Which is still, even though it's more north and you would expect the northern areas to have more snow, it's going to be April 20th. It's still, I would still consider that unseasonal for the amount of snow that they're going to get. And yes, definitely quite rare. They can, seasonably speaking, they can still see some snow that far north. However, for that high risk, exactly what you're talking about, Raymond, it's very rare. All right, going back here. So really nothing for this week. It looks like Thursday morning on the GFS here might have a little shower action coming on through the area. Again, a bit more north in the higher elevations there. Could be cold enough to support a little frozen precipitation. And then by the time it gets down to New York City, it's just be showers. Looks like it stays clear on Friday. Going to Friday night. Maybe a little shower action happening, but it looks like there's some sort of marine layer influence here. And this is doing some funky stuff. Wow. Look at this. Again, this is the GFS. The GFS, I like to say, is overtry. It tries very hard. I think I get your joke, but I do know the fourth wall joke. And we know the master of the fourth wall is Deadpool. Because the fourth wall just doesn't even exist for him. Anyway, back to here. That could be quite a snowstorm up going into Michigan, Canada. And then for our area here, on Saturday, this is where northern New York State might be seeing a bit more showers to moderate rain. And then overnight, Saturday to Sunday, we have that coming through. So by Sunday morning, we have quite a line. You did, Raymond. Yes, you did. Almost Deadpool level, I would say. So Sunday afternoon. Now, this is where the shape of the system comes into play. So when talking about the shapes here, this is a pretty thin line. And when we look here, we have high pressure gradient with these isobars very close. And then behind the system, those isobars spread apart a little bit more. This is you kind of think of it as a plow plowing through the area. When a snow plow with some snow comes through, it compresses the snow. And then as it moves through, the snow kind of expands into the like cloud of snow powder. That cloud of snow powder is back here where it's a little bit calmer than right at the snow plow. So I would say there could be a severe potential here for some severe weather, especially in Jersey. And then once that makes its way through, and it's a slow mover too. This really stays until next Tuesday. And I usually don't like to go past the 7-day because, again, not the most reliable with the forecast models. All right, so let's take a peek at the Euro here. So the Euro doesn't have anything much happening with that system kind of here. But once we get through the main day on Wednesday, it's all above freezing, so all that's clear. Wednesday looks like a nice day. Then going into Thursday. Thursday looks pretty good as well, clear. I mean, here comes that line there. Just want to see. It doesn't do the same thing the GFS does through Michigan. Yeah, the GFS is trying to spin up a couple of different things there, but the Euro's not. So going through this system here, it does spin up a little bit. Going into Michigan, a bit more north there with some snow. And again, with the counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere here, this is pulling air straight down from northern Canada. So they may be getting quite a snowstorm. And for us here, we have that very thin line. And again, we're talking about the shape and the pressure gradient, which is just before very high pressure gradient. And then behind it, Meg wants snow. I'm going to leave that for you to watch this back. I got to get my views somehow. Back to radar scope, Raymond. And where? So it's not really much happening. There's some little pockets of heavy rain there. A little bit of heavy snow, actually, right there, right now. Wait, where's that? The tip of Albany County. kind of in this area. Albany, so I think Albany County is right about here. Yeah, so this looks like it's all rain right now. The snow is more to be west of where you are. I will say upstate New York, I am not familiar with. Mohawk River, I don't know where that is. There's the border of Albany and Saratoga County. Really wish this showed counties. See Albany right here, and Saratoga. Oh, which one is Saratoga? I've never forecasted for up here in like a county by county region. The farthest north that I forecasted for was Ulster here, Sullivan, Ulster, Dutchess County. Beyond that, kind of like a black hole. Sorry, it's just I'm not too familiar with northern New York. All right, so back to here. There could again be, I think, a severe weather potential. White lines on the map there. As long as you see it. And I got your answer from there. All right, back to here. So this is Sunday 6Z. So overnight, Saturday into Sunday at 2 a.m. I will not be here at that time. Once that passes through, then it clears out, gets a little cooler. Ooh, that 540 line takes quite a dip. Although, and that's not the freezing line. But it's very interesting that takes quite a dip there, the 540 line. And then going into Tuesday, next Tuesday, looks like some spotty showers here and there. Yes, Raymond, it is, because normally any kind of weather needs an energy source. And the energy source is the sun heating the ground. And then the ground radiates the energy back. So say we have ultraviolet radiation coming in from the sun. It hits the ground. It heats the ground. And then the ground emits infrared radiation, which is heat. That's where thermal imaging comes from. So that thermal energy is what feeds storms. So when it's at night, you lose the sun, so the energy source is cut off. So like Raymond there, you're saying an overnight system like that. Let me go back here a little bit, back to that system. It is unusual. So back to about here. Yeah, that back to the 6Z. It's interesting that both the GFS and the Euro have this exact same thing. Right there. So this is showing slightly different timing, but it's still there. So 6Z Sunday. Excuse me, that's going into Pennsylvania. 6Z Sunday on the Euro, it's Pennsylvania into New Jersey, New York. So there's a slight difference in timing there, but the system itself appears on both. Now let's take a look at the icon. Oh, this is the 120 hour. Let me go back to the 180 hour. There we go. Okay. So it's still showing again, snow showers happening in northern New York. Clear for your day, then for the most part, Wednesday, Thursday starts to show a little morning shower chance, but that's about it. Clear for most of the day, it looks like on Thursday then. And then Friday, most of the day on Friday looks clear. Until we get to Saturday. This is 3Z, there's 6Z Sunday. So it's not as intense here on the icon, but it's still there at 6Z. Going to here for the NAM. Going through there. There was that little snow chance up there. It's not much, and usually with this time of the year, it doesn't last long, except, I guess, with that high risk there on the Weather Prediction Center. Cool, so through here on the NAM on Thursday morning, there's no chance it's showing of any kind of precipitation. And again, this only goes 84. Oh, it changed models on me, or model runs. And go back to the 18Z. So get a little bit more out of it. The Thursday morning. Oh, so the 18Z is showing Thursday morning, a little shower chance heading into the area there. Out by the afternoon. And then Friday looks pretty clear. And that's 84 hours out. Quick look at the 3 kilometer. The 0Z is not done. I'm going to go back one to the 18Z. All right, let's take a peek there. There's your mixing happening. Oh, interesting, Raymond. I didn't realize it was that long ago. There's really nothing much happening here. For the next few days, and that's as far out as the 3 kilometer NAM goes. HRRR. Snow shower action happening there. Then it clears out by Wednesday morning. And, oh, it's changing the model runs on me. Once the snow shower chance is done by Wednesday morning, more north. Clear the rest of the day Wednesday. Thursday morning, it brings a little bit of a shower chance there. But then it clears out pretty nicely for the rest of the day on Thursday. And that's as far out as that goes. And Raymond, yes, that is very true as well. All right, just a brief look at some 2-meter temperatures. So going into Wednesday, highs in the, again, just like we saw from the weather story at the very beginning of the weather segment here. Back to the 2-meter temperatures. 50s to the low 60s. Overnight lows still getting into 30s in some areas. Thursday, mid 60s, maybe upper 60s. I would say a little bit more into like the Newark area, New York City area. Friday, Friday is very interesting, where it's showing mid 70s. That could be really nice. It depends on the exact timing of some showers happening. And then Saturday, low to mid 70s. Actually, there's an 80-degree reading there coming out in southern New Jersey. And it looks like there's You can actually see the front and the temperatures here, right there. That's the system that Raymond you're talking about. Overnight Saturday into Sunday, dropping the temperatures as we were looking at on the maps. On dew point on Friday, that makes a difference this time of the year. So, let me go back to here. Friday. Pull a reading from right about there. Very interesting. So they're not really close. And at the 500 millibar level, it's quite dry. So that's probably why there's not much happening. Because the 500 millibar level is usually where we see, normally at the surface, rising motion is considered stable and sinking motion is considered unstable. But once you get past the 500 millibar level, rising motion is considered unstable and sinking motion, opposite. Rising motion is stable. Sinking motion is unstable. So that's kind of where the switch happens, right at the 500 millibar level. So if it's dry there, that might mean that we have rising motion going above the 500 millibar level, which means sinking motion at the surface, which is stable at the surface. And then just a brief look at the MOS data. So we're seeing overnight lows, upper 30s, overnight tonight, low 40s, upper 30s. Yeah, so here, where are we? Albany, a little bit more north, so right around the freezing point, which supports the idea of this snow continuing, the snow chance throughout the overnight. And then we go back to Boston, 40, so low 40s. And then for tomorrow, upper 50s. So let's take a look at Friday, because that looked like it was the warmest. Low 70s for Islip. Newark 79 on Friday. A Cape value of 11,000. That is, like you said, that is insane. In India. Oh, interesting. I actually don't follow any kind of weather overseas. What's also interesting is a 79-degree reading for Newark on Friday. Let's see. For Friday, 75 at White Plains. 81 at Albany. And Friday, Boston. Oh, interesting, because it's a little bit more east. 60. So it spread from 60 to 90. Right? I saw an 89 degree. 79. Oh, sorry. So a 20 degree spread from 60 to 80. So quite an interesting spread of temperatures there. And then overnight Saturday into Sunday, just want to take a peek. 53, it's showing there. 59, 53, 54, 46. Again, that's Boston, which is going to be a little cooler. Yeah, anytime I've looked at like Asian countries, so India, China, Mongolia, anything like that, Japan, I haven't been able to find a lot of consistent weather data that I'm used to seeing from the US, and Europe. Yes, I would definitely agree with that, Raymond. Okay. So that ends the weather segment here. Gonna close these, and we're gonna bring up a little bit of Minecraft. Oh, I forgot to set that in the beginning of the stream. I don't know if I could set it now. Yep, too late now. Oh well. All right, let's bring up some Minecraft. I don't remember where I was the last time I was in this. Because I've been playing, I know it's been a while since the last one, but I've been playing Harry Potter, which is a little bit more of a setup because I have to get the PS5 connected to the laptop. There it goes. And now that I have it set up, it works. And we're going to switch some audio outputs to Java. There we go. Now I hear it. And let's transition and bring this on in here. Now you should hear a little bit of the game. Let me know how the mix is between the game audio and my audio. In the menu here, it's not too loud happening right now. It's the one that last played. Let's see if it's stable where I am when it loads. Okay. Again, not too long of this, maybe 15 minutes. Ah, yes, I had to rebuild here. I don't have much of a house at the moment, so I have this set up, nothing on the ceiling. Ooh, if a creeper is here, it's definitely gonna mess with my day. Some cooked salmon let's have for dinner. Wood sword. Have a stone sword is the question. Have that. I have that. I should be able to make a stone sword. Ooh, copper ingot. There, cool. We're gonna replace that with that. I do think I need some sort of storage. Little chest. Now that this is only one cube open, spiders can't get in here because they take up 2 cubes. Raymond, I'm trying to think. I think that was the highest I've seen as well. Which 5,000 itself is pretty insane. Oh, that was weird. Delvin, I totally forgot what the key command was to bring up the XYZ coordinates. Let's just see how far down. That where I ended down there. I have copper ingot. Raw copper. Actually, before I go down too far, let's get some of those raw materials out. Command function F3. Oh, it was just function F3. There we go. Now I got it. Thank you. And also, it was weird to think of the way I was used to playing Minecraft before the update. Bedrock, the very bottom of the world, was 0 in terms of the z-axis. Oh, sorry, the y-axis in terms of this. It looks like x. Yeah, so that's the y-axis, which is our depth. Let's see. I'm just checking the stats on the right side there. Okay, cool. Everything looks good. That metal API with the Apple M1 Max. I need a chest over here somewhere. So, that is granite. I don't want granite. I want dirt. Thank you. The Cape values of 11,000 would be to... That would probably be a record for the U.S. Actually, that's very interesting to research. What the highest Cape value was in the U.S. And one more piece of dirt. Okay, so now that protects that. Now I have a spot for a chest. Cool. We're just going to make one chest for right now. I do need some more planks. I have raw iron. Okay. That raw copper and raw iron I should be smelting right now. Got coal. I have flint in there too. Let's put the raw iron in there. That's quite a bit of iron. I didn't want it to face that spot. The way I want it to face. Cool. So for right now, we have copper ingot, ink sac, bone meal, sugar cane, cobbled deep slate. That's new. Spider eye. The wood sword I'll keep there just for a little bit. Pointed dripstone, which actually just looks like a stalactite. Coal. I'm going to keep in here because I need that for lamps or torches. Granite, move over there. Cool. I'm gonna put the copper ingot. Oh, wow, that's a lot of raw copper as well. That's still going. Cool. All right, so everything up there is going. Let's head down. And we're watching that y-axis drop. Yes, Raymond, if you could send it, I'd appreciate that. Might not actually... Might see it now. Go. I see it did the auto reply. Take a look at that sounding. Tape. Wow, 10,952. Very interesting. Yeah, when you look at the skew T chart there, that's quite a bit of rising motion happening there. University of Wyoming. Cool. Thank you for sending that. I do appreciate that. It is insanity. You are right. All right, we're going to keep going down past 0. At first, I thought this was bedrock. I know somewhere it says the type of rock. We're going to keep going down. Oh, and this looks like the end here. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, okay. We're going to try and take down an Enderman right now. They can't go anywhere that has a low ceiling. Only issue. Oh, shit. Chase me. I got it. I got it. Whew. Oh, and there's a creeper we're going to get away from. Oh, it didn't drop an eye, unfortunately. Drop it. Or put a torch up over here. Cool. Put another torch over here. Ah, it must be. Oh, there's the creeper. See, it did what I wanted it to do. Clear out some stuff there. Or another skeleton. I hear it, but I don't see it. Anyway, we're gonna go back to here. And just drop a dirt. In this spot. That way nothing can get through. There is way back. Up. Cool. Yes, that was pretty interesting, Raymond. But the LCL. Oh, I heard a bat. All right, let's keep digging down a little bit more here. So we went down quite a bit of ways. Let me see if I can turn. Continuing to head down. I don't think I encountered any lava yet in here. Hang on. I am hearing some weird things. Let me just throw a torch up down here. Oh, that's more copper ore. Okay, let me just pause there for a second. So from what you sent there, hang on, let me just zoom in, take a quick peek. Okay, so LCL stands for lifted condensation layer, which is usually the base of a cloud. The bottom, the lowest level a cloud can form is the lifted condensation level, or the LCL. Here, it's showing very low, which is, give me a pressure. Hang on. Sliding around on me. About 850 millibar, which according to this is about 1,500 meters, 1.5 kilometers. Hey Siri, convert 1.5 kilometers to miles. 0.93 miles. So less than a mile up is the base of the clouds. So that's putting it in perspective there. Hey Siri, convert 0.9 miles to feet. 4,000 feet. So that's less than a mile. And also looking at the wind direction, quite interesting to say that on the right side of the graph there. Yes, it did sound like somebody dropped one of the AOL modems in Minecraft. me just grab some more raw copper here. Ooh, lots of copper. I've learned never to stand directly underneath a block that you are mining. Don't know what's above it. Wow, this is a lot of copper here. Oh. And I ran out of a pickaxe. I have another. 44 raw copper. Don't have another pickaxe. We're gonna go get some more. And where was the way up? There it is. Heading back up all the way. And we're going to be ending the stream fairly soon. Just a little bit more of this. Minecraft. Looks like daylight. Cool. And we have iron. We're going to hold off on the iron. I have one copper ingot. I'm about to make quite a bit more. Have that copper. Don't want the crafting table. Hang on. $44 copper. 30 copper there. Combine them. Cool. And good. Still have enough coal. So we're going to put some raw copper in there. Let that simmer. And we're going to make another pickaxe. Although I can make an iron pickaxe. Iron pickaxe. Cool. Here we go. And the rest of that iron we're going to put back. Some bone. Pointed dripstone, so stalactite. Flint, I don't need there. Coal, yep, keep that. Birch sapling. Arrows, I don't have a bow yet, so there. Cool. Alright. Now I have an iron pickaxe. And as soon as the stone pickaxe is worn out, we're gonna get an iron sword. Sorry, as soon as the stone sword is worn out, we're gonna get an iron sword. Now I have a lot more copper to mine down here. And there we are. Cool. Alright, give me all the copper. Up there, some more copper over here. looks like it for the copper. 64 copper there and another 14. Wow, that was a lot of copper. Okay. Let's keep digging. Ooh, is that bedrock? Deep slate. We're getting pretty deep down here. What is that? Redstone. Okay. Put another torch. There we go. Torch up here. Some more redstone. Cool. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of the world here. Or deep slate. Guess I can just keep on going through. Delvin, do you know what level the bedrock still keeps coming up at? Negative 64 layers below zero, and I am at only 27. Wow, they really made that quite deep. What level does diamond normally come at now? That shaft is on its way down. Probably gonna rotate through here. And can I make some more torches? Cool. Gonna put a torch in this spot over here. Cool. Usually every new world I like to try and at least get to one level down to, or one shaft down to bedrock. Oh. Maybe I'm approaching something. Heard quite a sound just now. Oh. I don't know what's that. Approaching it cautiously. This goes many different ways. Okay. I have run out of torches. Can't really see, so I'm not going to do too much adventuring here. Sword ready. Ooh. We're just going to back up there. And that usually means there's something up there, I believe. Ah. Okay, that blocks that. Okay, blocks there. And let's just see over here. The overhead light is causing quite a glare, so I can't see too much on the screen when it's this dark. Oh, he's down here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are. They can't get up? That's weird. Why can't they get up? Oh, must be a natural kind of block. I need a bow. I have the arrows. I just need to get a bow. What is down there? Glowing. A little bit too far for the range of the pointer. Yep. Alright. Gonna head back up here and gonna close off that hole for now. I got 2 pieces of dirt. That's all I need. There. That's not dirt. There. Okay. Now let's head back up. I got a lot of copper on me that I need to get smelted. Where was... There's the way up. Cool. And once we're back up, that's pretty much going to call it for tonight. I think one more shaft turn around, and I'm going to be back up at the correct level. We're at the little house. Nope, one more. There we go. Oh, I hear some rain. It's raining. Cool. And copper ingots. Cool. We're going to add some more of that. And make copper armor? Question. Nope. Only out of steel. So, copper is new to me in Minecraft. You have to see what copper's all about. Let's actually put the redstone back there as well, too. And that's a smelting away. I know during the daytime, any kind of zombies or mobs as they're called, do not spawn. Unless they are the underwater ones. And I have enough fish for now. All right. We'll head back inside. And we will call it here. All right. And save and quit. See, hang on. Transition back first. And then save and quit. Cool. There we go. Okay. So that is going to be a wrap for this evening. I do apologize. It was a little later than I wanted, but thank you for joining. Raymond Delvin, it was a pleasure as always. And Ethan, also, thank you for joining. And shout out to Jose. Jose is a friend and a colleague of mine. He jumps in every so often on YouTube. So thank you all for joining. It was a pleasure. So overall, it'll be a fairly quiet week in the Northeast until Saturday night into Sunday, where there is that system that looks like it could potentially bring some severe weather. But temperatures for the rest of the week, upper 50s to the low 60s for Wednesday and Thursday. Friday is going to be fairly warm, where it's going to be in the 70s to near 80 degrees again. But that's where we're going to start to see the change, where it's going to bring in a little bit of moisture. And that's setting up the environment for Saturday, which then Saturday to Sunday, we could have that storm roll through. And then Sunday looks to be a little bit cooler again once the storm actually breaks through. And then a little bit of shower action remaining for Monday and then into next Tuesday. All right. So again, thank you all for joining. It has been a pleasure. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that little subscribe button below and then the bell icon right next to that so you get notified whenever I go live like this or I upload a video. So I am working on finishing up another new rebranding of the Full Charge Thursday. This one's going to be around maintenance for EVs, so the motorcycle EV and the Tesla, the Harley Livewire and the Tesla Model 3. Spring maintenance for both of those. It's not much, but there's a little bit to talk about for that. Otherwise, that is it for now. And then I'm also going to have my part 2 of the Harley Davidson Livewire coming out maybe in a couple weeks. That should be finishing up fairly shortly. Thank you all for joining. It's been a pleasure. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you all in the next video.